Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Guy Dawson Show at the World Center of Broadcast Media, WCOBM.com. My name is Guy Dawson, and I am the managing member of Classic Communications, a full-service media and marketing company. And if you would like to bring greater recognition to your business, your organization, or yourself personally, please get in contact with us at 702-845-6129 or visit our website, classiccommunications.net. We are broadcasting to you live from the Gene Woods Racing Experience in fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada, just a stone throw from the Las Vegas Strip, and I don't have my co-hostess Corintha in the studio today to hijack me of my intro. I got to do it all by myself. It doesn't happen very often that I get to do my stone throw. And I have Mackenzie White is with me in the studio today. We know each other from Toastmasters International, which is the largest speaking and leadership organization in the world. She's a member of one of my clubs, and I love her energy. I've been wanting to have her on the show for a long time, and here she is. Welcome, Mackenzie.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so you are a member of Toastmasters. What made you join?
What made me join Toastmasters was my search to become an effective speaker and empower others to be truthful and confident in what they have to say in front of others.
Yeah, what's it done for you so far?
Toastmasters has done many things for me. Most especially made me confident in answering questions the way that I feel most true to myself. Beforehand, I might have sugar-coated my answers depending on who was around me, and now I feel like I am confident in myself and I can answer however I feel.
Yeah, and Mackenzie is a very busy lady. She is involved in coaching, wellness, empowering women, and generally just being somebody out there who champions causes that she believes in. And how do you keep up with all these things you're doing?
That's a great question. I keep up with my busy routine by waking up in the morning and practicing gratitude. Taking time to breathe and be with myself before I go into my busy schedule.
Gratitude. So tell me about that. How'd you get into gratitude?
Gratitude has been something that has been a factor in my life since I was a young girl. My father passed away when I was 11 years old, and after that I started asking questions about life and who I was. And I became grateful for his passing because it made me strong, and there's so many blessings behind our trials and tribulations in life. So that's where I started practicing, and now it's daily, and I can look at anyone and any situation and find the light in it. So
yeah, isn't that a great tool, gratitude? You know, when I really got into gratitude is about around 2008 or 9, and I watched the movie The Secret. And in the movie The Secret, have you seen The Secret?
Absolutely.
And in the movie The Secret, they talk about that being the one thing, if you don't get anything else out of this movie other than learning to use gratitude as a major factor in your life. And there was something that really resonated with me about that. And I had my grandmother. She just died last year. She lived to be 100 years old.
Wow.
And one thing I remember about my grandmother from when I was a little boy was she said, "Guy, this is what you have to do. Count your blessings one by one. Count your blessings one by one." She was a big believer in gratitude. And when I watched that movie, then I really understood what she was saying. And so I can really identify with your belief in gratitude as being a powerful force.
Actually, it's funny that you mentioned The Secret, because when I was in 4th grade, my mom wouldn't let me go have sleepovers with my friends unless I read chapters in The Secret and explained to her what they meant to me.
Really?
4th grade, yes, yeah.
So before you could go to the sleepover, you would have to read The Secret, and your mom would quiz you.
Yeah, yes. No, yeah, it was interesting because it didn't make sense to me when I was that young. But I got The Secret, it always it stayed in my subconscious. And when I was 15, I watched The Secret movie for the first time with a great friend of mine. And that was when we had our little light switch click on, and we started looking at life in a completely different way.
And so how have the principles that you've learned, because obviously you didn't have an ordinary upbringing. I mean, most people's parents don't have them read The Secret. I could see energetically how that would set you up for for a good time on your sleepovers.
Yes. Oh wow.
And so, as you've evolved, you've grown up. Now you're a full-grown woman. What are the influences of you starting to learn about the law of attraction at such a young age?
The influences are endless. I love children, and because I saw myself grow up with this secret from such a young age, now when I take care of children, which I love to do, the innocence is just so nourishing for my spirit. I talk to them about crystals and life, and we'll see beautiful cars, and be like, oh, that's my favorite Jeep, and then they're like, oh, that's cool, and then we'll drive away really fast, and then we'll park somewhere, and the same car will be come up and right next to us. So little things, and I'll talk to them about how to make connections, and when you really want something, think about it all the time and visualize yourself having it and act as if it's already there. So in many ways The Secret has influenced me. I think it also goes down to being the energy that you wish to attract. And that is the premise of The Secret, but in more practicing gratitude, but it also ties back to your true self and who you are in your authentic power.
Mm-hmm. Your belief in that you truly can create your reality,
yes.
And it doesn't always look exactly the way that you expected it. I think that's one of the challenges that I've had through the years in studying the law of attraction and quantum physics, is you always have to remember that you ask for it, it appears, but it doesn't always appear in the way that you necessarily expected that it'll appear.
Absolutely, yeah. Sometimes you will just get the curveballs and you're like, wait, did I really ask for that?
Right? And you know that you did, because
yes.
If it came, you asked for it.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. Wellness. I know you are a wellness coach. Will you explain to the audience what that is?
Sure. So, in January of this year, I started studying with integrative nutrition, which is a holistic health school out of New York City. And I've always been passionate about putting healthy foods in your body, because I've noticed my energy is increased and I am more powerful when I eat well. So in 2015, I became a vegan, and that originally started because I was at a retreat program in Big Sur, California, and these incredible yogis would walk in the room just with this energy that you couldn't describe, and they were glowing with happiness, and I'd ask, what are you doing? And they'd talk about meditation and healthy eating and spending time outside with the sun, and that made it a click for me, and I decided that health and wellness was something that I wanted to pursue, and I wanted to help others become better in their diet.
What was that like, changing from, I'm sure you had some unhealthy habits, we
Sure.
all do, and how was that something that you were able to just do, or was it a process? What was that like, switching from becoming a vegan and practicing a healthier lifestyle?
Honestly, Guy, it took months for me to fully transition as a vegan. I would forget that I was vegan, and I'd go and put cheese on my sandwich and be like, about to take a bite, and oh wait, I can't have this, and I would put it down.
Really?
Yeah, no, it was because I love cheese, and there's a lot of things, ice cream, that we love, right? But you just recognize you're with your body for the rest of your life. So how you take care of it now will impact later years. So I mean, it was difficult, and I allow myself leeway, right? So if I want a piece of chocolate cake, and I deserve it, I've had a long week, and I made a lot of accomplishments, then I will sit there and I will enjoy it. But most of the time, I'm pretty strict, and I try to hold myself accountable for my plant-based diet.
And you notice a difference in yourself since you've done that?
Absolutely. And my connection to plants and animals. They're more vibrant, and I feel that a lot of animals can almost sense that you're with them rather than about to eat them or against them. So
Really? Because you're a vegan?
Yeah, I know. It's funny, but that's what I feel, so.
Huh. So you feel a greater connection with animals.
Certainly.
Because you don't eat them anymore.
Yes.
Huh. That is very interesting. I had a lady, she came on, and as I was talking about it, as I was telling you, but we're both in Toastmasters, and I was giving a workshop yesterday, and I was talking about, we had a member of one of my clubs who's a vegan activist. She came on, and did this show one day, and we had all these vegan foods just spread out all across here, and it was amazing the things that they can make. They can basically duplicate any food now for people who are vegan.
Yes. I think it's becoming increasingly popular, and rightfully so, because there's a lot of things that are changing in this world. I think that people are starting to open up to the greater side, and it's deeper. It's beyond what it looks like. We have a spirit and a soul that needs to be nourished.
When people are seeking wellness and they come to you, what are they looking for?
Well, I see clients for Reiki energy healing. So that's mainly what I offer now. In the future, when I finish my health coach certification, I will take clients for health coaching. And I'm also becoming a yoga instructor, so I'm going to start teaching yoga as well. But primarily now, my business is all around holistic healing. So I'll see clients, and we will talk about what's going on in their lives, and then they will lay on the table, and I will work with their energy, and then they leave usually always in Zen mode and completely restored and rejuvenated.
And you do Reiki?
Yes.
We explain Reiki to the audience.
Absolutely. Reiki is a Japanese energy healing modality. I was attuned by a Reiki master who learned from a master in Japan. And it's a lineage. Basically, you go through this attunement process where the Grand Master will come and he'll do a series of hand placements around your body and infusing you with this life force energy. It's prana. And then you are able to give it to others through the palms of your hands. And it comes from source. It's not my energy. It's a channel.
I know, and if you've never had Reiki before, boy, I would highly recommend that you go and do Reiki. It really does something to you that is indescribable.
Absolutely.
The feeling that you have after you have a Reiki session, you just feel like something's different. There's definitely so much power in the shifting of energy when you receive a Reiki treatment.
Yeah. I had a woman come and see myself and this other incredible Reiki master in Las Vegas, and she had arthritis and couldn't open up her hands, and she had come to see us both for Reiki and come to Reiki circles many times a week, and in 4 to 6 months she started being able to open up her hand.
Really?
Just from getting Reiki treatments.
From receiving the treatments. I do have my own personal story about Reiki. I had a nagging injury in my back. It was just, you get those little pulls in your back, and it was nagging, and it wouldn't go away, and it wouldn't go away, and I went to a Reiki master one night, and I sat in a chair, and I received the healing, and he pulled the pain right out of my back. I mean, I knew it made me feel good, but when I actually experienced that pain being pulled, and the pain has never come back since then, I really recognized how powerful it is.
Yeah, it is powerful energy healing work. People, their lives are transformed. I've had clients that come and see me and they're going through a lot of stuff at home and come to see me. I do little package sessions, and after we go through their 4 sessions, they are transformed completely, and they even walk in and you can just tell something's changed within them. It's beautiful. I'm so thankful to be a part of something like Reiki.
Yeah, and isn't it great to be doing something where people, I'm sure they're expressing a lot of gratitude to you for making them feel so much better than they did before they came to the session.
Which is very nourishing for me. I feel like for the rest of my life, I'll never be able to be in a 9-to-5 job that I'm working for someone else doing something that I'm not passionate about.
Yeah, and you're passionate about yoga.
Most certainly.
Tell us about that.
Yoga is my favorite type of physical exercise because it's healing in a way that I don't receive from Reiki. And in different, Reiki's cleansing for the spirit and for your energy, but yoga transforms your body and you feel more space within your muscles and space that I do weight training, and I used to be kickboxing, and now that I've incorporated so much yoga into my life, it's changed the way that I exercise as well. Because I know that when you push yourself beyond your limits, you get hurt. And in yoga, you kind of have to know your effort and your return to center. And it's taught me a lot about life and about myself practicing yoga.
Yeah, yoga, you know, what I enjoy about it is that it's the consciousness that you get. But yoga does have that physical aspect that you were talking about, where you're really engaged physically, so you have your muscles are being stretched in ways that they aren't ordinarily stretched.
You build muscle too.
Oh, absolutely. And along with, you really build your consciousness. I mean, I've done some of my best writing after yoga sessions, because it's just the consciousness and being open, and the breathing too is also, for me, I've had problems in my life not being a very good breather. And because there's so much focus in yoga on breathing, deep breathing, remembering to breathe, they say that that's a part of a lot of the health problems that people have in the world. It's just bad breathing.
Your breath, it brings you back to yourself. When you inhale and slowly exhale, it's kind of like your whole body presses the restart button, and you can take on the next moment with more courage and strength.
Yeah, and Mackenzie is 20 years old. When did you turn 20? Because I remember you were just 19.
Yeah, well, actually, I'm turning 20 next month. So
what's your birthday?
June 10th.
Oh, I'm June the 18th.
Whoa,
Gemini.
Cool, I love
no
it.
wonder I like you.
Yeah.
Geminis get along very well with each other.
Most certainly, yes. My mom and her boyfriend are both Geminis. So.
Right, and so you would say, wow, this woman, she's only 20 years old and she's doing all these things. I know that you hear that a lot, and why do you think you are doing so much at your age? Is it you've just always been doing a lot at whatever age you were, or is there something that's driving you to do so much?
I have not always been as driven as I am at this stage of my life. It comes back to my father passing away. I always feel his presence with me, and he's helps me move forward, and he shows, and so for the entirety of 2016, I did traveling out of the country. And there'd be a lot of circumstances where I was alone, and I could feel in tricky situations, and I could just feel an angel with me. So this year has been about creating myself, and because traveling, you find who you are and you discover about other cultures. And now I would like to create the woman that I would like to become consciously. So that, when it comes to have I always been this way, no, I think you create yourself with your experiences. You make yourself who you are because of what you've been through. And you can take it in a positive or a negative way, but I've always been an optimist.
Yeah, and the travel that you did, I'm sure that has had a lot of impact on the woman that you are.
Absolutely.
Yeah, anytime you get to go somewhere where you're not. I mean, for those of you out there who don't do a lot of traveling, I feel that you're missing out on a part of life that, even if it's just going to another state, anywhere where you're in a different environment than the one that you're in, and the people act differently, and it's such an education in itself, just traveling.
Oh, absolutely. I spent time in Peru, and the culture was just so heartwarming because people are sincere and they want to help you out. And I was working on my Spanish before going, but I was taking Spanish classes in Peru. I'd have to wake up early, walk a couple miles to the Spanish class, and then afterwards I would take it on myself to practice with the locals. And they were so patient with me. They would, if we were in the park, they would sit down and they'd say, no, this, and we'd have this. I'd fumble my Spanish, but we'd still make out a conversation, and it was just, the culture was fantastic. Peru was amazing. If any of you get the chance, I highly recommend it.
Yeah, and Mackenzie gave a speech recently where she talked about how we here in America are really blessed, and a lot of times we don't know it. And you were sharing your experiences in travel with other countries where they don't have a lot of the conveniences that we take for granted here, and you were also talking about how we overuse water in the United States.
Yeah, absolutely. 800 million people do not have access to safe and clean water every day. That quote, that statistic is mind-boggling to me. We can just turn on our faucet, get bottles, and it's just right there for us whenever. And so many people in many parts of the world just don't have that. They don't. Their children are thirsty. They don't get baths, showers for weeks. And here we are taking 10-minute showers and leaving the faucet on while we brush our teeth. So yeah, mainly, especially with summer coming up, I think conserving water is extremely important. Just being aware of how much you're using and turning it off when you're not using it, like when it doesn't need to be on.
Yeah, you get these perspectives. I sat there and I listened to Mackenzie give this speech about running too much water, and she did it. It's a couple of times that you've talked about that in different meetings, and it starts to make you conscious of what you're doing. And it did. The second time I heard you talk about it, now I've just been really regulating how much time I spend in the shower. You were saying 2 to 3 minutes, and in my head, because of Toastmasters, I really know how long 2 or 3 minutes is, and I get out because I realize that I'm been given a lot and grateful for what I've been given in this country, and that others aren't as fortunate.
Absolutely. So you said that after the second speech, you started to really take a note and make changes in your life. So do you think that it takes people a few times to hear something before they actually make life changes?
Right. Well, the whole world is built on that premise. I'm a marketing person. You repeat things over and over and over again, and it starts to become a part of people's psyche. And so, yes, it does. Repetition is so powerful. You have to repeat a message over and over and over again before people begin to connect with it. And we're going to go to a commercial break. When we come back, Mackenzie is involved in a lot of things related to empowerment for women, and we haven't even touched that. We've got a full segment that she could talk about some of the ways she's helping women empower themselves, and I'm just really happy to have Mackenzie White. She is a wellness coach, a world traveler, and a Toastmaster, and she's part of the Guy Dawson Show today. Stay tuned.